Hey everybody, it's Matt Powers. I'm an author, educator, citizen scientist, family guy, and I plant food forests and work with soil all over. But now I'm in Texas, and this is a new site. This is the first season growing here. And so we've got trees, we've got perennials, we've got a lot of annual beans. We've got different layers of the food forest in already. And because this was an establishment and we amended this, when we turned that all in, it had weed seeds show up, right? And so we're working our way through the weeds. Some of it's chop and drop. That's why we mow. That's why the pathways are so big, because they provide excellent chop and drop. But it's early days. You know, we're applying regenerative soil principles. So we did a biochar burn. You can see the stumps left over from that. They didn't fully burn. And they were covered with clay. So it was very hard to get those to fully burn. So we're gonna let them process and let them break down a little bit more before we do anything with them. We might bury them. But this is super sandy soil. It's like pure sand right here. We can even look at it together. So you can see that there's cowpeas coming in, there's squash, but it really is, you know, biochar and sand, just pure sand. And you can see some of the dark black biochar in there. But there's been plants putting down exits, plants working with biology. We had kelp in here, rock dust, compost that we added. So it's changing. It's in transition. There's like fungal flushes that are happening, so we know the fungi is doing work. But this is early days. This is and I've also been writing a book. You know, I've been working really, really hard every single day, the full day. And so my son was doing the mowing, you know, and he's the one who found the giant veggies and brought them to me. And so it was just like a wonderful joy break from the work. Been like, oh my gosh, we planted these like throw-so, you know what I mean? Old school, just the way we do. And so this is just wild that there are people that think that I faked it. That they think that I don't throw-so daikon radish. That I have been doing this for years. That the 5 cousins, one of the primary components of, I'm going to trip over these things if I, but here, it's all seamless, right? We're seamless video taken here. No edits. Well, we can flip around, right? We can flip it around. Well, no, I can't. It's set to this camera. But if you look here, this is gonna rot. You can see already the microbiology working on it, breaking it down. This goes pretty darn deep. And so you can see the bottom is already rotting through. And that's gonna decompose in place. It's starting to rain here again. That's the thing, what's going on is really sandy soil, and tillage causes collapse and then a compaction. So I don't want to do that, you know. So timing, as if you know any farmers, timing this stuff is everything. And so there are weeds here, right? Of course, we turned them up. But working through that process, having them be part of the cover crop process, but turning them into organic matter, crowding them out, changing the pH, changing the organic matter levels is all part of the process. And you can do it this way. Like, that's the thing. It's like you can have a great result. You can have things like change dramatically and have it not be this rigid, every single plant here is a daikon radish and da 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 da. And I understand, like, on the internet, there's like a lot of people like who are these militant farmers. Someone freaking out when I showed my radishes, and these are heirloom radishes. These aren't the special expensive tillage daikons that are giant. So this is just normal stuff. not wild, you know what I mean? But the results are wild because we've synchronized multiple factors of what makes soil regenerative. And that's the thing, is people don't look at their soils, don't look at their compost, don't test their compost, they don't look at any of these things, and then they expect them to work together properly. And it's just madness. It's like if the label on my bag of fertilizer doesn't say it, it's not true. And it's like, have we really fallen, that far? That folks are just reading off labels and trusting labels. Pretty pathetic. And so doing it, proving it out, that's what I do every single time I set up a new site. And there's videos and videos and videos and years of that on this channel, in my books, out there in the world. So for those of you who think this is AI and fake, we can walk through it together, okay? And you can see how my paths are perennializing. They're clover. There's microclover in there, dichondra, and there's regular clover in there. But do you see how this is coming together? And the lines from the Jang cedar are melting together. That's the plan. And other areas, there's weeds. But under those weeds, as you saw, if you watched the last video, they're there. It's really about uncovering things. And because it's so rainy, it's actually very easy to remove the weeds. And the soil is changing. It's becoming darker and darker. And it takes management. It takes work, actual work. And that's the thing that is so weird to me, that like you have farmers being like, that's not a real daikon. And it's like, you're a farmer, right? And then it's like, these farmers are spending a lot of time on the internet. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm an educator. I'm teaching people all over the world. And all my work is, we're demonstrating it. We're applying it. And so these farmers that are just these armchair guys that, oh yeah, that's right. The farmers, the traditional chem-ag farmers, they're tilling, they're spraying, they're doing that, they're going out there every once in a while. So it seems unbelievable to them because they're completely out of touch with the way things actually work. Well, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep sharing pictures of the progress. But it's coming together. We've got, here you can see, we got a line of strawberries on this side, bordering the trees. You can see them really clear right there, the strawberries. We've got a lot of cowpeas that are gonna be coming in soon. But cowpeas, you don't put in spring. You gotta wait till the soil's warm enough because they're a summer cover crop. So again, I'm just planting cover crops again because I want the soil to be really well developed. And I did put in my perennials, so I gotta treat them right. And I gotta carry them through this time period where they need help. And then later, they'll help us. So it's all part of the process. I'm at the final stages of releasing that book. I'm working on the Kickstarter rewards. The courses are next. I've got everyone's regenerative soil microscopy kits ready. I just have to build the courses next. And meanwhile, I'm doing this all at the same time. And so I've got to, I can't juggle very well. So I've got to like do one thing really hard and then do another thing really hard and then go back and forth. So I wanted to give you guys this update. I wanted to show you where those daikon radishes came from. It's not a mystery. Anyone can be growing like this. Get the book Regenerative Soil and you'll see. There are farmers growing resilient, high yield, nutrient dense foods all over the world, and you can too. Check out regenerativesoilscience.com. More information on all this. I'm going to have a webinar this week. Check that out. And have a great week. I'm Matt Powers. Grow abundantly, learn daily, and live regeneratively. And I'll see you guys soon, all right?